Imagine going to bed with your usual voice and waking up speaking with an entirely different accent. This isn't the plot of a sci-fi movie or a bizarre dream, it's a reality for some people. Welcome to the world of foreign accent syndrome, or FAS. A rare and often misunderstood speech disorder, FAS is not about waking up and suddenly speaking French or Italian, but it's about a noticeable change in speech patterns that can give the impression of a foreign accent. FAS can result from brain injury or neurological conditions, altering the way individuals articulate words, change the rhythm of their speech, or even affect their vocabulary and grammar. The most puzzling part? Sometimes those with FAS aren't even aware of the change in their speech. It's not a joke or a trick. It's an actual medical condition known as foreign accent syndrome. And one of the most striking features of foreign accent syndrome, or FAS for short, is altered pronunciation. Imagine waking up one day and finding that the way you articulate your words has changed. It's not that you've forgotten how to speak your native language, but rather the pronunciation of your words has shifted. This shift can be subtle or more pronounced, depending on the individual and the severity of the condition. But what's fascinating is that these changes in pronunciation can give the impression of speaking with a foreign accent. Let's say you're a native English speaker, but with FAS, your pronunciation could change in such a way that it sounds like you've spent a significant part of your life in a different country. You may start rolling your R's or elongating your vowels in ways that are characteristic of other languages. So a native English speaker might end up sounding like they've lived in France all their life. But it's not just about pronunciation. The rhythm and intonation of speech can change too. Imagine this: the music of language, the rise and fall, the flow and cadence that gives speech its characteristic melody suddenly shifts. This is the reality for individuals with foreign accent syndrome. Their stress patterns transform, the timing of their words may speed up or slow down, and the melody of their sentences may take on a completely different tune. This isn't a conscious choice they make, it's a neurological change that alters how they express themselves verbally. The rhythm of their speech, once as familiar as a favorite song, now sounds more like a foreign symphony. The prosody, or the intonation and pitch variation, can dramatically change, leading to a speech pattern that might seem foreign even to the speaker themselves. This change in rhythm and prosody further contributes to the perception of a foreign accent. And then there are the phonological errors. Now, this is an interesting facet of foreign accent syndrome. Some individuals may start substituting one sound for another, or even omitting certain sounds altogether. It's like their brain is playing a game of musical chairs with phonetics. Think about it. You're trying to say thick, but it comes out as tick. Or perhaps you want to say shoe, but it sounds more like sue. These might seem like minor changes, but they can drastically alter the perception of your speech, making it sound like you're speaking with a foreign accent. And it's not just about substituting sounds. Omission plays a role too. Imagine dropping the H in house or the G in going. It's these subtle changes that can make your speech sound foreign to your own ears, let alone to those around you. These errors, while subtle, can be quite noticeable to the listener. So, next time you hear someone with a different accent, remember, it might not be as foreign as you think. Speaking isn't easy, especially when you're dealing with foreign accent syndrome. A significant challenge some individuals face is articulatory difficulty. Imagine trying to pronounce a word, but your tongue, lips, or jaw just won't cooperate. It's a bit like trying to play a song on a piano with a few keys out of tune. The tune is recognizable, but something's just not right. In the context of FAS, articulatory difficulty can make it hard to produce certain sounds accurately. Individuals might struggle to voice consonants, stretch vowels, or shape their mouths the right way for particular sounds. Every language has its unique set of sounds, and when FAS disrupts the ability to articulate these sounds correctly, it can give the impression of a foreign accent. These articulation challenges are not a choice, and they're not easy to overcome. It's a daily battle, but it's one that many are bravely fighting. These articulation challenges can further intensify the perception of a foreign accent. FAS doesn't stop at altering sounds. It can also affect language use. Beyond changes in pronunciation, rhythm, and phonological errors, foreign accent syndrome can also bring about shifts in one's vocabulary, grammar, and syntax. This is another fascinating layer to this rare speech disorder. Imagine having a different set of words in your language toolbox. Some individuals with FAS might start using words they didn't frequent before. Or their sentence structure might transform, making them sound like they are speaking in a new dialect or even a foreign language. Grammar, the rulebook for language, might also get a makeover. The person may start using different tenses, or their sentence structures might change, and syntax, the arrangement of words and phrases to create well-formed sentences, could also shift, leading to sentences constructed in a way that's characteristic of a different language group. These changes can add to the perception of a foreign accent, making the person's speech pattern seem even more foreign. So, someone with FAS might not just sound foreign, they might use language in a way that seems foreign too. Ironically, the person with the foreign accent might be the last one to notice. It's like a silent shift in the wind, altering the direction of a sailboat without the captain's knowledge. This is a common occurrence in cases of foreign accent syndrome. The affected individuals may not be conscious of the changes in their speech patterns. This can create a sense of confusion and distress, not only for the person but also for those around them. Imagine waking up one day and not realizing that your speech now bears the melody of an entirely different accent. It can be puzzling, like a mirror that reflects a stranger's face. This lack of awareness is not simply about failing to notice an accent. It's about the disconnect between how one perceives oneself and how one is perceived by others. And in some cases, they might not even realize they're speaking with a foreign accent. Living with a sudden foreign accent can be psychologically challenging. The unexpected transition, the unfamiliarity of one's own voice, can lead to a whirlwind of emotions. Imagine one day you suddenly start sounding like you're from a different country. You didn't move, you didn't study a new language, but your voice, your identity, has been altered in a blink. This sudden change can provoke feelings of frustration and embarrassment. It's like you're a stranger in your own body, and it's hard not to feel isolated when even your own voice feels foreign. It's not just about sounding different. It's about the sense of loss, the confusion, the struggle to reclaim one's own identity. The impact extends beyond the individual, affecting relationships and interactions with others. People may react with surprise, skepticism, or even ridicule, further intensifying feelings of alienation. Coping with these changes is a challenge, both for the affected individual and those around them. FAS is as unique as the individuals it affects. Just as every person is different, so too can the characteristics of foreign accent syndrome vary widely among individuals. Some may exhibit all the components we've discussed, from altered pronunciation to a lack of awareness, while others may only display a subset. And within these components, the severity can fluctuate, leading to different degrees of perceived foreign accent. But what's the underlying cause of all this? It's all in the brain. FAS typically results from damage to specific areas of the brain involved in speech production and language processing, often the left hemisphere. Imagine your brain as a complex orchestra with different sections contributing to the symphony of speech. When one section is disrupted, the entire performance can change, leading to the unique characteristics of FAS. Understanding the brain's role helps provide insights into its diagnosis and treatment. So even though FAS is complex, with each case being profoundly individual, we're not completely in the dark. Treating FAS isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. It's a journey that requires a multifaceted approach, often involving speech therapy, cognitive therapy, and other interventions. Speech therapy can help individuals regain control of their pronunciation and rhythm, while cognitive therapy can assist in addressing any underlying psychological impacts. But the road to recovery isn't always straightforward. The effectiveness of these treatments can vary greatly from one individual to another, largely influenced by the underlying cause of the syndrome and the extent of the brain's involvement. It's a complex process that requires patience, perseverance, and a lot of support. Moreover, it's crucial to remember that therapy does not necessarily aim to eliminate the foreign accent, but rather to improve the individual's speech production and communication skills. It's about helping them regain their confidence and navigate their day-to-day life more effectively. Despite the challenges, hope and help are available for those living with foreign accent syndrome. So, We've taken a journey into the world of foreign accent syndrome. We've explored how it can alter pronunciation, creating the impression of a foreign accent. We've delved into rhythm and prosody changes that can modify stress patterns, timing, and melody in one's speech. We've observed phonological errors, substitutions, or omissions of sounds that add to the perception of a different accent. Moreover, we've discussed articulatory difficulties some individuals may face, making certain sounds challenging to produce accurately. We've touched upon how FAS can impact the use of language, causing changes in vocabulary, grammar, and syntax, and we've noted how some individuals may be unaware of these changes, creating a confusing or distressing situation for them and those around them. We've also highlighted the psychological impact of FAS, its individual variations, neurological basis, and the challenges in treatment. Remember, when we understand, we can empathize, and when we empathize, we can make a difference.